is going on, everyone? There is a lot of pressure on this Houston Texans front office and general manager Nick Caserio to make this a championship roster. With that being said, this is becoming one of my favorite off seasons to date because the guys who they bring in during free agency, the guys they draft in a couple of months, these are the pieces that they believe will help us get to the next step, get to our first ever AFC championship, get to our first ever Super Bowl appearance. There will be so much pressure for this free agency class, for this draft class, and we are going to learn a lot about this young Houston Texans team, and I cannot wait for the future of this organization. I think you have the pieces, guys. You have your head coach in D'Amico Ryans. You have your franchise quarterback in C.J. Stroud. You have also other franchise pieces, Tank Dell, Will Anderson Jr., Derek Stingley. Continue to add to this weapon that is the Houston Texans, and let's get some championships. I also have for you guys today 2 free agents, one on offense, one on defense that we should be looking at. Welcome everyone to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calvillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content, so make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok for the latest news, rumors, and updates. And if you guys are new here to the channel, thank you so much for helping me get to 10,000 subscribers. Y'all changed my life. Could not be here without y'all. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Now, the first player that we're going to be talking about is running back Tony Pollard from the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of you guys have already mentioned him. We spoke about Saquon. We spoke about Josh Jacobs. We spoke about Derrick Henry. But what about the Houston Texans adding someone like Tony Pollard? Because I think we could all agree this Houston Texan offense is one dynamic running back away from being special. Can Tony Pollard be that dynamic running back? I don't know, but I wouldn't mind it. If the Houston Texans signed Tony Pollard, I would be excited. Now, these are his stats. His first year as official starter for the Cowboys appeared in 17 games, 1,005 yards, 6 touchdowns, is also a threat through the air, 55 receptions for 311 yards, a Pro Bowler last year, but as we know, he was a backup. That's why there was a lot of hype around Tony Pollard this year. 1,007 yards, so only 2 more, 9 touchdowns through the air, another 371 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Tony Pollard is a weapon, ladies and gentlemen. PFF said, Pollard was one of the 3 running backs to play out the 2023 season on the franchise tag, and some of the concerns that Dallas cited during his days as the change of pace back to Ezekiel Elliott did bear out once he became the focal point of the Cowboys' rushing attack. Pollard's efficiency on a per-touch basis came way down, which was to be expected, but the explosive plays in both the run and pass game were also far harder to come by as a result. They also have his projected contract as a 3-year, $25 million total, $15 million guaranteed, and an annual salary of $8 million. That's less than Saquon Barkley. That's less than Josh Jacobs. Tony Pollard, only 26 years old, about to be 27 once the season starts. If I'm the Houston Texans, not only do I take a weapon away from the Dallas Cowboys, but I potentially get a game-changing running back for this offense, I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the Houston Texans potentially adding a running back like Tony Pollard. Now, the second player we're going to be talking about, safety Jordan Fuller from the Los Angeles Rams. Now, real quick, I want to give you the current status of the Houston Texans safety group. It's not looking good. Jimmy Ward, who you signed on a 2-year deal, we were so excited for him, was a captain this year for the Houston Texans team. Missed significant time due to a hamstring injury. Finished the season on IR. You could not rely on Jimmy Ward this year. Jalen Petrie, I was expecting him to have a Pro Bowl All-Pro year. Boy, was I wrong. I was fooled by his 5-interception rookie season. I don't know what the hell happened to Jalen Petrie, but you might go in a free agency and the draft needing to address safety. That's how bad it was for the Houston Texans secondary last year. And I think Jordan Fuller could be a great addition, someone who could compete for a starting role here, was a captain for the Los Angeles Rams, appeared in 17 games this year. In 2022, only appeared in 3. Season was cut short due to a hamstring injury, suffered the entire season. Everyone was wondering how he was going to bounce back. Played in a full season, 17 games, 3 interceptions, 8 pass defense, 94 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Jordan Fuller was everywhere this year for the Los Angeles Rams, and I think this will be a good addition for the Houston Texans, someone who embodies the swarm mentality. When you go look at his mic'd up, he is talking trash. He is bringing high energy. There is a reason why he had a C on his chest. This is what PFF has to say. Fuller is a ball-hawking free safety who spends the majority of his time patrolling his deep quarter. As the Rams have developed as many two-high safety looks as any team in the NFL over the past few years. Fuller has a good ball tracking ability and times his jumps well, contesting at the catch point but avoiding penalties. He runs the alley well and doesn't miss many tackle attempts. He's not necessarily crashing and making plays at or behind the line of scrimmage often, but he's a sound tackler and a reliable last line of defense when called upon. And his projected contract from PFF, 2 years, $9.25 million total, $6.25 million guaranteed, and $4.63 million in those 2 years annually. That is nothing for a potential starter, a potential captain for the Houston Texans defense. I would definitely take a look at Jordan Fuller. Not a lot of people have talked about him in free agency yet.